Hello, I just thought I would go through a digital debonding session with 3Shape. This is a particularly ugly cast, so let's just jump right into it. Because most of the videos that I see on this, it's like ideal ones. As you can see, this is not an ideal one. You got tissue all over the place. You got inflamed tissue, brackets. I don't know what is going on here. And this is actually from the scan. So I've already based it. First thing that I am going to do is cut with the spline cut. So of course, I'll just come around here. Then when I start getting into here, I try to cut off some of the bands. I'm actually a lot more careful when I am digitally debonding. When I'm cutting, let's get through that. Let that cut away. Now I do just start off with the artifact tool. As you can see, I got something. And I actually have to make an invisible retainer on this, so I have to be careful. Like with these, of course, I don't start here, but I'm doing it for this one. I mean, these are simple. There's very little chance of getting it, of mixing in with the tissue, and then I can come back with the smooth tool just to get any remnants out. Of course, there's like a divot there, which I don't really understand, but yeah, I mean, so like that's pretty simple. But like, what do you do with all of this mess? All the gums are inflamed. Um, the brackets are actually hanging down onto the tissue. I just tell the doctors that the only thing that I can do is the best that I can. It's the same thing I've been doing now for 30 years. It's just with a different tool. Instead of taking a knife to all this and scraping and scraping and scraping and trying to redefine the tissue, I'm just using the computer. Now I just start off one by one because I don't want to get too many in. Like this is all going to become all one thing. And of course, if I'm doing this wrong, if there's a simpler way of doing this, please let me know. I think that this is something that we all struggle with. I know that some labs, when it's this bad, they'll just print them and they'll just take them off. But I got a pretty good track record. Like when a new doctor starts with me, asked about the digital debonding, I tell them all the same thing. That hallways are going to fit perfectly. Invisible retainers, they're not going to fit perfectly, but I probably see about like 1 in 20 where the doctor says it did not fit. This one here, I'd really be surprised if it fits, just because there's so much going on here. Okay, so I got them done. And then now I come back in here with the remove tool. And then I got to set it in here where it's a small circle and not that deep. And then I just try to like redefine where the gum line might be. Like this is going to be especially hard. This is not the easiest thing to do. I think that because I already actually did this one. So I think that I came in a little bit deeper with the tool. But what I typically do is that other tool, and then I just try to come in and just try to like reshape the teeth as best as I can. Like how an invisible retainer is going to fit on this. And I show it to the doctors. Because again, I'm not a magic worker. I can only do the best that I can. Like that one, that's ugly. Let's see what I can do there. So the artifact removal tool and the smooth tool, it's only going to take you so far. But so I got what I think is somewhat decent, and then I come in here to the smaller smooth tool that I use for just for smoothing out this stuff here. Now it helps if you look at it from this side, because if you're an orthodontic technician and have been doing this for any amount of time, you know what a tooth is supposed to look like. It's not supposed to look like that. So maybe I'll even take down the tissue a little bit. Like this is one of the worst ones that I've seen yet. So maybe not a great example to do, but. And then I'm going to just take in this. And then I can see there that there's a pretty good div at that taking out. So I'm going to come in here to the add tool. I don't want to add much. I'm just hitting clicks. And then I'm going to come back in to the smooth tool. Try to smooth this out. Of course, I'll go over him again. Like I can see there, there's a divot there. So I'm going to come into the add tool again. Now I typically, so you got all them bumps there. And I'll just smooth them out into the surrounding teeth. And then that's going to be ugly too. I'm going to get a little bit more oomph into there. So as you can see, I play with these tools. I mean, I got some settings with the hot buttons, but when I encounter a case like this, I mean, like most of the cases, I can just go through the settings that I have on my hot buttons. But when I get into some of these difficult cases, then I really have to start to play with these tools. Like I still don't like that. So is this going to fit? I don't know. I can hope. I know that the doctor is hoping. But I just thought that I would show this case just to show like how bad it can be. And also just, I wanted to post this in case people were seeing something that I'm doing here and being like, no, Chris, there's an easier way. Do it this way. Let me know. But that is about as best as I'm going to be able to get at it. Of course, with the invisible retainers, you would rather take too much off than leave a little bit extra on. And that's it.